A tough match for Team Melli, and there is also plenty to analyze and talk about. On today's episode, we will recap and analyze Iran's match against Uzbekistan and talk about some obvious topics. You know the deal and you know what time it is. It's time for Team Melli Talk. People are talking. They are talking about Amir Ghalenoui. Hey everyone, welcome back to Team Melli Talk. We know what you want, so let's get right to Iran's starting lineup against Uzbekistan. Getting the starting goal once again, Ali Reza Bayranvand. Now for the back line, Milad Mohammadi, Shoja Khaliazadeh, Hossein Kanani, Ramin Rezaian. Now for the midfielders, Mohammad Mohebi, Saeed Ezatolahi, Saman Goldus, Mehdi Torabi. And of course up top, Mehdi Taremi and Sardar Azmoun. A similar starting lineup from Amir Ghalenoui. Now let's check out the highlights.
سامان قدوس و عزت‌اللهی تو گیری بازیکن ازبکستان شجاع خلیلزاده توپو میزنه بازم فشار روی دروازه ایران و ضربه‌ای که اونجا زده میشه و توپ به بیرون رفت.
بازیکنان خط جلو رو داره با بازی مستقیم تغذیه میکنه.
سامان قدوس پاس عالی برای مهدی طارمی، پاس عالی طارمی داخل محوطه میره واسه گل اول بازی. پنالتی هست یا نیست؟ با هم دیگه خواهیم دید صحنه آهسته رو. تذکر جدی داور اماراتی محمد عبدالله حسن. مهدی طارمی که استاد گرفتن ضربات پنالتی هست رو اینجا داور معتقد خطا روش صورت نگرفته. با هم دیگه میبینیم پاس عالی برای مهدی طارمی اومد که از دروازه‌بان رد بشه. دیگه استاد گرفتن پنالتیست مهدی طارمی، چون اگه میرفت اون سمتی هم زاویه کاملا بسته و تنگ میشد. عزت‌اللهی ولش نمیکنه اونجا. شماره 2 بالاخره توپ رسید به بازیکنی خودی. حرکت سردار آزمون، پاس عالی سمت راست رامین رضاییان، زاویه تنگ شده اونجا اما گل برای ایران هست. اشتباه یوسپوف دروازه‌بان ازبکستان. شوت خوب رامین، پاس عالی سردار. بازی 1-0 شد به نفع ما. چه پاسکاری خوبی کردیم و حالا 1-0 می‌بینیم با هم پاس تک ضربه عالی سردار آزمون رو. چقدر خوب دید و چقدر خوب پاس داد و بازی رو برای ما به همراه داشت. گل بعدی خورد یوسپوف.
چند دقیقه اول بازی که مقدار بازی بلند انجام دادیم، بازی رو آوردیم روی زمین و این شکل بازی به فوتبال ما خیلی کمک می‌کنه.
قشنگ جا افتاد در ترکیب تیم ملی ما مهدی و تاثیرم گذاشته روی فاز هجومی. اما ضربه سامان قدوس، شکروف، ماشاریپوف اشتباه کرد. تو گیری خوبه بازیکن ایران. پاس برای مهدی طارمی. گل دوم. مهدی طارمی دروازه رو باز میکنه و ما 2-0 جلو میافتیم. میبینیم ما هم دیگه صحنه آهسته رو. سامان قدوس عالی جنگی تعقیب کرد تا آخر رفت. پاس خوش برای مهدی طارمی و بدین شکل شد ایران 2-0 جلو میفته. یک لحظه غفلت شکروف میشه توپگیری سامان قدوس و تمام. 2-0 مدافعان ما میزنن. باز هم سامان قدوس، پاس خوب برای بازیکنی خودی. توپ به سردار نرسید. اونجا طارمی توپو تعقیب میکنه، دروازه‌بان میاد بیرون، دروازه خالی هست و اونجا یوسپوف فقط توپو بیرون زد. ژام روبوکوف، یه حرکت خوب تکنیکی پشت محوطه جریمه، نمیتونه دیگه به راحتی از عزت‌اللهی رد بشه بازیکن ازبک و توپو گرفتن. یه ناراحتی پیش میاد برای سامان قدوس. علی کریمی به ترکیب تیم ملی ما اضافه میشه و پیک داره. خود موهبی ثابت توپ، پاس عالی به سمت راست رامین رضاییان، پاس کاتبک میتونه بده برای ملی پوشان خودی که اونجا در نهایت با تکل بلند بازیکن ازبکستان کورنر گیر ما میاد. یه حرکت حمله تیم ملی ازبکستان. شماره 2 فرستاده کود داخل زمین ایران و باری کلا به شجاع. این با هم صحنه آهسته رو. حمله خوب، حرکت شماره 2 از کنانی رد شد، تو محوطه اومد، توپی که فرستاد. یه ضربه خیلی تکنیکی و فنی اونجا به توپ ماشاریپوف. فرخ سیفیف، شماره 2 توپشو میزنه بازیکن ایران. تبدیل پاس گل میشه اونجا برای تیم ازبکستان. اورونوف دروازه تیم ملی ما رو باز میکنه. استون اورونوف. تا بازی 2-1 به نفع ما بشه و ازبکستان برگرده.
دی نسبت به اوناست، این رو باید کادر فنی ما الان یک فکری براش انجام بده.
رو با هم دیگه می‌بینیم بدین شکل علی کریمی اومد توپو بزنه که از مقابل رد بکنه، تبدیل به پاس گل شد و دروازه ما باز شد توسط استون. تو به نفع ازبکستان رفته بیرون، ما کمی سراسیمه و به هم ریخته دقایق بازی میکنیم. یه بار دیگه یه رساله بودم دروازه فرصت داره ازبکستان، فرصت داره ازبکستان و گرفت علی بیرانوند توپو. فیض‌الله پاس خوب برای شماره 2 در زمین ایران، ضربه‌ای که به توپ بالاخره میزنه و بیرانوند توپو گرفت. فیض‌الله میبره به سمت راست، حمله ازبکستان خطرناکه، خیلی هم خطرناکه. میخوریم گل دومو، 2-2 مساوی و چه کسی گل میزنه؟ سرگیف.
پس کردم و الان در کل دقایق نیمه دوم داریم میبینیم خیلی پرتعدادن تو 18 قدم ما.
هم دیگه میبینیم فضایی نقطه کور بازیکن ما. پاس عالی فیض‌الله، قرونوف عالی‌تر پاسو فرستاد و سرگیف دروازه رو باز کرد. گل تساوی رو برای ازبکستان به همراه داشت. سوت داور مهدی طارمی ضربه رو میخواد به توپ بزنه، طارمی ضربه‌اش رو میزنه به سمت چارچوب، توپ که به بیرون رفت و در چارچوب نبود.
To start this analysis, it is obvious that Iran's 2-2 draw with Uzbekistan was a tale of two halves. Iran won the first half, and Uzbekistan won the second half. But there is a lot to talk about, and I am not going to beat around the bush. First, I want to go over my keys to victory that I shared before the match against Uzbekistan. I said to watch for the pressing from Uzbekistan and to play physical with the Uzbek midfielders. In the first half, Iran did its job with good ball movement and teamwork. On the first goal scored by Ramin Rezaian, we saw some great passes from Mehdi Torabi, Mehdi Taremi, and Sardar Azmoun. When looking back at the second goal, Saman Goldus definitely was physical when he muscled the ball away from Otabek Shukurov and found Mehdi Taremi wide open. Iran took the game to Uzbekistan in the first half. Iran looked like a team that only wanted the 3 points. In the previous edition of Team Melli Talk, I also compared Uzbekistan's center backs to Iran's center backs. Once again, Amir Ghalenoui decided to put Shoja Khaliazadeh and Hossein Kenani in his starting lineup. When looking at the 3 center backs from Uzbekistan, we actually saw 2 of these players in the starting lineup, Husniddin Alikulov and Rustam Arshumatov. I was very clear when I said that the Uzbek center backs were younger and faster than Kenani and Khaliazadeh. No surprise that Hossein Kenani had some trouble with Eldor Shomurodov early in the second half. When looking back at Uzbekistan's first goal, we can see that Hossein Kenani and Shoja Khaliazadeh were just ball watching. With the help of Ali Karimi, the ball got to Oston Uronov and he finished it off nicely in the 52nd minute. Iran also did a very bad job of defending counterattacks from Uzbekistan, and the midfield basically disappeared in the second half. When we look back at the second goal from Uzbekistan, there was plenty of ball watching once again from Iran's defenders. But good ball movement once again from the Uzbeks, and Igor Sergeyev scored the equalizer in the 83rd minute by finishing off a pass from Uronov. A 2-2 draw. Both teams got a point. But for Iran, this honestly felt like a loss. Next, let's take a look at a quote from Amir Ghalenoui. This tweet came from Persian Soccer. After going up 2-0, our team thought the game was over and only played half-heartedly, while the Uzbek team played with full effort and purpose in the second half, causing the draw. We were too relaxed, and they played with more heart. An interesting quote from Amir Ghalenoui. And yeah, it definitely does make some sense, because at the beginning of the second half, I remember saying that Iran looked very sluggish. It's true. Our Team Melli players were playing, very relaxed. But there is something that Amir Ghalenoui forgot to mention, and that is he was outcoached by Srečko Katanets. Katanets made 2 very crucial second half substitutions when he brought on Abosbek Fayzulayev in the 62nd minute, and Igor Sergeyev in the 82nd minute. Fayzulayev brought plenty of speed and energy to the Uzbek squad, and Igor Sergeyev scored the equalizer after being on the field for only 1 minute. Abosbek Fayzulayev is a 20-year-old midfielder who is currently playing for CSKA Moscow in the Russian Premier League. A young player with plenty of speed and energy. Interesting. This sounds like something I've said before. Now let's focus on two of Amir Ghalanoi's second half substitutions. He decided to bring on Ruzbek Cheshmi for Sardar Azmoun and Mehrdad Mohammadi for Mohamed Mohebi in the 75th minute. Ruzbek Cheshmi and Mehrdad Mohammadi are both 30 years old. As for bringing on Ehsan Hajsafi and Reza Asadi in the 90th minute, well, by then the score was already 2-2. But what was so bad about the Cheshmi for Azmoun substitution is that Amir Ghalanoui was sending the message that he was going to try to just hold on for the 2-1 victory instead of trying to put the Uzbeks away. When Amir Ghalanoui announced his 30-man roster before these two matches against Hong Kong and Uzbekistan, I was thrilled because it was great to see some younger players on his list. But Amir Ghalanoui continues to be very stubborn, and he also continues to make the same mistakes. He tried to play things safe, and it didn't work out because the match ended in a 2-2 draw. Bring on the younger players. Seriously, give them a chance. How could things get any worse? But of course, this obviously wasn't very possible because the only younger player who suited up against Uzbekistan was Mohammad Javad Hossein-Nejad, and of course, he didn't get to play. I guess Arya Yousefi, Mohammad Gorbani, Amin Hazbavi, and Saeed Sahar Khizan are not ready yet. Instead, Ghalanoui prefers to have a 36-year-old Omid Ebrahimi on his bench. And of course, the vicious cycle continues because these younger players will never be ready if they never get a chance to play. Before World Cup qualifying started, Iran had 9 friendly matches. I'll say it again, 9 friendly matches. Those were the chances for the younger guys to play. Reza Asadi and Mehrdad Mohammadi are not Team Melli material. Neither is Shoja Khaliazadeh. And Hossein Kanani, he is definitely replaceable. Now the next thing I want to say is that Team Melli is in trouble as long as Amir Ghalanoui continues to think that Hossein Kanani and Shoja Khaliazadeh are his best center backs. Now to finish off this edition of Team Melli Talk, I'm joined by my good friend and analyst, Navid Taher, joining us from Germany. Navid, thank you for taking the time. It's good to have you here, man.
Hey, Art. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And sorry to put you on the spot, but I had no choice but to do this. I just got finished talking about how Reza Asadi, Mehrdad Mohammadi, and Shoja Khaliazadeh are not Team Melli material. I even said that Hossein Kanani is also replaceable. So what have you got to say based on everything I just said?
No, I agree. Especially play like Asadi or Mehrdad Mohammadi. I don't think they're really Team Melli material. They got in, they didn't do anything, they didn't have any impact. Mehrdad Mohammadi is a very predictable player, like one friend of mine says, one-trick pony. Like he has speed, but nothing else much. He didn't really contribute much. And Shoja, in my eyes, is a liability. Under Skocic, he had his good phases, but in the past year or two, even especially in the game, like for instance, against Qatar, Jordan I thought was pretty weak. So I fully agree. These players definitely don't belong into Team Melli, and it's definitely some time for younger players. Kanani, I still think he should have a place in the squad. At the moment, unfortunately, we don't have really any more better players or experienced players Ghalanoui would put on. So we gotta still stick to Kanani and hopefully Majid instead of Shoja.
All right, now one other thing that I didn't really spend much time on, and because I'm not in the business of making excuses, but Saman Ghodus got injured, late in the first half against Uzbekistan. This was a huge loss for Iran. But from your point of view, do you think this was a big reason as to why Iran slowed down and didn't get things done in the second half?
I definitely think so. That was probably one of his best games ever for Team Melli. Him and Said really had the defensive center in lockdown. He won a lot of tackles, but also played very nice, smart passes in the front. Even some of them were risky, but they still got to the man. I think he was one of our best players in the first half, and also won a lot of tackles, covered a lot of space. Definitely lost a bit of the stability when he left the pitch, but either way, this shouldn't be an excuse to give away a 2-0 lead, especially considering we had a really good first half, and just to put ourselves in that position was just unfortunate and not really like a top team in my opinion.
And last question, Navid, before I let you go, I think it's actually a two-part question. Is there a reason for Team Melli fans to be concerned? And do you think Iran is a contender to win the upcoming Asian Cup?
So to your first question, I think there's a reason to be concerned. I'm personally concerned. I think after almost EF in 10, 11, 12 games, the defensive stability, in my opinion, is concerning. And we haven't played the top teams in Asia yet. Offensively, yeah, we play nice, we play creative, play attacking, but we also rely on the massive quality we have up front. So, like Azmoun, Taremi, Torabi, Jahan Bash, I just don't see really like us developing or going anywhere yet. Your second question, is Iran a contender? I don't really see it right now. I think teams like Japan or Korea are the top favorites at the moment. Team Melli lost a bit of quality, some sort of touch, I feel like, and I don't see us at the moment with the coach like Alani being top contender. Obviously we're in the top 5, but not the top contenders in my opinion.
Navid, appreciate you taking the time to join me on Team Melli Talk. Hope to have you back again soon.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
And that's it, everybody, for this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammellitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. Make sure you find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk.